difficult decision.
I've fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than all of us put together, and they died. Everything that they sacrifice will be for nothing if we do not stand together. I presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters.
Welcome back to the Aspie Connection Network. This is your host, Matthew Cassidy. We are going over the first trailer of Avengers Doomsday. Finally, it is here. This is supposedly the same trailer that people saw on CinemaCon way back in April. So we finally get it here at the end of July, and I'm not surprised since Comic-Con's coming up. So we're going to go step by step into what we saw in this trailer. Obviously, I couldn't show the whole trailer because of copyright issues. So when we open up, we show the destruction around Xavier School for the Gifted, showing the main X-Men universe. We saw Patrick Stewart's Professor X. We saw Magneto in the earlier clips months ago, and we kind of got the realization, well, hey, the X-Men are going to be in this, so how are they exactly going to do this? We saw the X-Men briefly at the end of the Marvels, with Monica Rambeau being stuck in the X-Men universe. At least that's supposedly what it's supposed to be, at least. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to work out. What really punctuated the start of this trailer was Dr. Doom, or Robert Downey Jr.'s voiceover in his Latvian, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, Latvian accent that's very Eastern European. Obviously, we don't have a Latvian here in this world, so that is his home country. They showed that a little bit in his in the Fantastic Four, showing that Latveria didn't have a representative at the United Nations panel, if anybody saw Fantastic Four last summer. So let's get into this a little bit more. We're going to be having incursions that are going to be from 3 separate Earths. One's going to be the MCU, what we all know, Avengers, Doctor Strange, all that kind of stuff. The X-Men universe, which is, I don't believe is going to be the X-Men universe we are used to, but I believe it's going to be just a basic X-Men universe, kind of based off of X-Men 97, is my prediction. And the Fantastic Four universe that we saw in 838 Earth, we saw in Fantastic Four. The tear in the fabric of space-time, it kind of, the mirror look of it kind of looked like the Avengers symbol. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I thought it kind of did. It looked pretty awesome through the stained glass window. Then we get a first look at Doctor Doom in his full armor that's technology-based and magic-based. And this concept was leaked probably around on Reddit like months and months ago, but we finally get to see what the mask and the outfit's going to look like. I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be showing his face, at least not until the very end of this movie, and when we finally get to Battle World and Secret Wars and all that kind of stuff. So we go to the Marvel logo. Then we get Thor, who's like the main Avenger now, that's been throughout all the Avengers movies now, and he's taking a lead role into what what they're kind of planning on doing, and he kind of tells the a group of Avengers that they brought together, the Avengers that are the Thunderbolt Avengers, Captain America or Anthony Mackie's Avengers, and the Fantastic Four, that he's faced many obstacles and many enemies before, and none of them have scared him like what we face now. And I thought that was very big to say, because first of all, he's going back to serious Thor. We're not getting Thor from Thor: Love and Thunder, which kind of turned everybody off of Thor, and all the jokes and all that kind of stuff. So we're kind of going back into serious Thor and him being a leader and seeing what kind of leader he can be. Next, we kind of see the Fantastic Four arriving, meet both Avengers teams. Then we have Talocan and Wakanda. This is kind of the part I'm not sure what's going to be going on in this movie. Namor is a very, or Namor in the comics, is obviously a kind of wild card, because he can pick whatever side he wants to help his people. And I believe he's going to be siding with Doctor Doom. That's my opinion. I have no inside knowledge, nothing like that. But I really think he has a chance of siding with Doctor Doom and realizing that he can rebuild Talocan with Battleworld. But anyway, let's moving on with Wakanda, the Wakandans and M'Baku and Shuri and all them. Then they show Thor landing in the yard of the back of the X-Men campus. That's all in ruins. That's where you see pieces of Sentinels that I believe are used in the early part of the movie by Doctor Doom. He has the power to do that. If you saw Days of Future Past, we've seen the Sentinels. You've seen the Sentinels in X-Men '97. You've seen it in other X-Men movies. So we saw it. Yeah, that was never mind. That was the other movie. The matchup I want to see is Shang-Chi versus Gambit. You have two very unique power sets, and that aren't very known in the comics, at least not as much as like Thor, Iron Man, Captain America. You're not really thinking of Shang-Chi and Gambit. And Gambit is in a top level mutant, and Shang-Chi has the 10 rings, so it's a very even matchup, I would think. They're trying to make. Then they finally show Loki. Loki is going to be the key if they keep the storyline from the comics that insiders are believing what they're going to be doing in the movie. Loki is the center of all of it, since he controls the world tree. We saw at the end of Loki season 2. We see him be kind of the Loki god of stories. And he's in control of all the timelines. And we're going to see how that represents how the incursions is messed with him and all that stuff. And we're also, I believe, going to see is he responsible for Captain Rogers returning with the Fantastic Four in their universe. Then they show a small group of Avengers from each group of Avengers in Talocan. I believe it's in the same scene. So once again, the possible betrayal by Namor. then you have the matchup versus Yelena versus Mystique. I do miss the old style of Mystique where it's naked paint art, but I totally understand with Rebecca Romaine's. She's not as young as she used to be. And, hey, she's still a beautiful woman. I'm just saying. It's easier to do the body paint and all that stuff from what we see in the trailer than what we saw in the first X-Men movie. So we see them go head to head. And then the quote that really stuck out to me was from Thor. It says, "If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters." And that kind of like, I don't know if that's like a battle cry kind of thing for these guys to get their act together and work as a team, or Thor believing that none of them will survive. And I believe it's the latter, because we will have Battle World. We will have anything can happen in the next Avengers movie. Cyclops, we see the scene of what we saw in the small mini trailers or mini clips. We saw him shooting off an Arctic blast with sentinels around him. And then the money shot where Thor and Stormbreaker power up completely like he did in end of Infinity War. And when he was charged up in Thor Ragnarok, and he is stopped by Doctor Doom with 2 fingers, and he literally was going for the head, learning from last time what he did with Thanos and how that did not work out so well. So and then they go into this final scene of Thor seeing Captain America or Steve Rogers just in this. I'm not sure if he's going to go by another name in this, but I think he's just going to go by Steve Rogers, not any comic book character name or anything like that. And he goes in, we're going to need a miracle, and Steve Rogers shows up, and then the test is to see if it's really Steve Rogers is Mjolnir. And he's able to take it from Thor and show that he's the real Steve Rogers. So, and then it goes into the new bum 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 bum, like new Avengers Doomsday theme, which is really cool. And then goes into the tick-tock of the clock, and we are now just under 5 months away from Avengers Doomsday. Tickets are on sale now. If you spotted anything else in the trailer, please leave your comments down below. Please subscribe at here at the Aspie Connection Network. We go over trailer information and all the in-depth stuff like that. I'm also going to be trying to get more of a community for people on the autism spectrum, and so that's why we're called the Aspie Connection Network. So I'm, as an Aspie myself, I'm into all these trailer videos and sports, but trailer videos especially, and that's why I wanted to show this step-by-step guide of what to kind of expect. I believe it's going to be I believe we're not going to see Deadpool, even though as much as I want to. We're not going to see Wolverine, I don't believe, because they're on a different Earth. We may see them in a post-credit scene, but I don't believe we see them in the real movie. We may see, we got to see what's going to go on with Spider-Man, Brand New Day. You can see that trailer reaction on my page also. And what's going to happen there. I don't believe Spider-Man's going to be in this first Avengers movie. He might also be in a post-credit scene. You could have up to 5 post-credit scenes in this movie. So you just got to remember that there's going to be a lot of loose ends that need to be tied up, and I really can't wait to see what they do with it. Once again, please subscribe down below, and we're going to see more trailers coming out of Comic-Con coming up this week. This is a very exciting time of the year for us nerds, and I can't wait for you guys to join and watch on this network. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.